Hey guys, welcome back. This is New Life Resolution, my keto journey. I'm Brad. I'm happy to share this journey with you, and I hope that it does help anybody and or everybody get through some of the journeys that they're going through. I know a lot of you have been reluctant to share just about anything, and maybe that's because you're just not doing anything. Maybe you guys are absolutely where you want to be, and if so, then obviously more power to you. I, of course, am not. Today I am going to step out of my comfort zone more so than I ever have, and I am absolutely going to expose what my starting weight is. So I officially started this journey on the 15th of January, and on the 11th of January I weighed in at my office. And when I weighed in, I actually spent the weekend, so the 11th was a Friday, and I spent the weekend that Saturday, Sunday, and then Monday pretty much doing whatever I could to get in as many of the foods that I deemed good during that 3-day period. I went and had lunches with family and friends. I went out to eat. I hit McDonald's. I had donuts. I pretty much did everything that I could do to try to fill any craving that I might have had at the time. So with the understanding that when the 15th came around, I was going to just hit this running. And I have, and I did, and I still am. And I feel really good about that. So 30 days is a big accomplishment for me. I can honestly say I'm very proud of myself. I have not gone out of the way to cheat. In fact, anytime I've had a craving, I've been able to talk myself out or around it in some way, shape, or form. And so revealing my starting weight is a big kind of, it's a punch in the gut for me to open up that much. And obviously I feel like the amount of support I've had thus far is going to make this a little easier, but there's still going to be a lot of people out there that are going to judge where I'm at this point based on my weight and my weight alone. One of the reasons why I've decided I'm going to share this now is, I've had some conversations with friends and family, and specifically a smaller group of friends. We were discussing the journey that I'm on, and they've been trying to help me in any way possible. And so I finally posed the question to them. They I don't want to say they minimized what I'm going through, but they suggested that I might have a shorter road than I suggested I do. And so I posed a question to them. I said, okay, can I ask you a question? I want you to answer honestly, 100% honestly. You're not going to hurt my feelings. I want to know where you think I'm at, because it sounds to me like you're suggesting that you think I have, 30, 40, 50 pounds to lose. And so I said, the question is, how much do you think I weigh? And I was surprised. I feel like some of them were just being nice to be nice, although that's not what I was looking for. But when they explained their reasoning, it made sense, because I think I've always held my weight better than I should have, or better than some people do, even if that's even possible. So the answers I got were, 260, 280, 300 pounds. And although it feels good to know that some people actually view me in a more positive light than I view myself, the actual number itself was staggering for them to hear. It absolutely made them realize how much of a struggle this is and how much I'm going through with these. So week 4 is in the books. It was a couple days ago, and day 30 is officially in the books as of today. The good news. So here's the good news. The good news is at day 30, I am of 25 pounds down from where I started. So I think that's fantastic news. It's a great starting point. It makes me feel like I'm doing something right. The bad news is that I am, as of week 4, 1 pound gained from the end of week 3 to the end of week 4.
And that's a little disappointing. It was a little hard for me to swallow that I actually gained a pound, especially when week 4 I really felt like I stepped a little further out of my comfort zone and tried to eat less than even what it suggests that I'm supposed to. So what I started looking at was a friend of mine said, "Hey, how about intermittent fasting?" And I hadn't really thought about it. So I started doing some research over the last day and a half, and I've watched 12 different videos from doctors to professional keto advice givers on YouTube to people who have just kind of taken this journey on their own, much like myself. And like most of what I learned on keto, a lot of it is trial and error based on the individual. None of this seems to be one size fits all for the most part. And so with the intermittent fasting, there are a lot of variations, and I've heard that some people actually, their fast is an equivalent to 24 hours, where it's like a 16-8 or an 18-6 or a 24, where those longer periods of the day they fast, and typically starting somewhere late in the evening, 8, 9, 10 o'clock, and then not eating for that 16, 18, or 20-hour period, and then basically trying to get all of their calories in within that shorter window. And you're not trying to cut your calories when you're doing this. From what I get, you're not trying to eat less. You're trying to eat the same amount of calories, but you're trying to do it in a smaller window. You're trying to still remain fat adaptive. You're trying to still stay away from carbs. You're doing all of those things the same, but you're changing the way you eat throughout the day. So like right now, I typically wake up and try to not eat until about 10 a.m. And then at 10 a.m. I normally eat some type of eggs, some type of vegetable to go with it, normally like a zucchini or asparagus or spinach or avocado or something like that. And then and some type of chicken probably. And then I normally try not to eat too much lunch. I do the keto shake for lunch. And then for dinner, I normally come back, and what I've been doing, which I think is wrong, is I have been eating more of the red meat at night, and along with the salads and that kind of stuff. But I think that is a mistake. I think part of my problem is that I need to focus on eating the heavier red meats earlier in the day and save the chickens and the fish and the leaner meats for the later part of the day. And although saying that out loud makes it sound like duh, it wasn't really what have been focused on. I've been focused on trying to eat the right things as opposed to trying to eat the right things at the right time of day. And I believe both are super important. So I'm going to learn this as I go, and hopefully this message can be shared with anyone else who's having this issue. So what I've done this week is I have started eating heavier meats earlier in the day. So hamburger, steak, earlier in the day, in that breakfast to lunch window, and then saving the what I consider the lighter, the white meats, for the dinner time, for 5, 6, 7 o'clock at night, depending on what time I get to eat. So I have decided I am going to do the intermittent fasting. I don't know why I try to say that fast every time and it just comes out weird. I'm going to try it. And so I'm starting that as of today. So the last time I ate last night was around 7 p.m. And I've decided that I'm going to do a variation of this at 17 and 7. So I'm going to wait 17 hours and then I'm going to eat for 7 hours. Now, obviously not 7 hours straight. But so my plan is to not eat anything before noon, and then to not eat anything whatsoever after 7 o'clock. So my fasting window will start as of 7 p.m. And so anything I eat needs to be finished by then. And I will remain fasting until noon the following day. 17 off, 7 on. Here's where some of my questions are. So in reading and listening to all the different information, the first thing I hear is fasting can be interrupted by anything you take that has a calorie to it carbs to it, which I assume will equate to calories as well, sugar, that type of thing. But then it also says don't use any of the creamers, don't use any of the artificial sweeteners. So I've got things like Mio, which is a 0 calorie, 0 sugar, 0 carb. Basically, if you don't know what it is, it's flavoring for water. And so I use that. Does that negate the fasting? And I haven't used it today because I know it says you can drink coffee, you can drink tea, you can do these things, but can you do things that have the 0 calorie, 0 carb, or are there other elements to those things that make it to where they then break your fast? Because I don't want to do that. So I'm not going to move forward with doing any of those things until I get an answer to that question. Same thing with like pure zero energy drinks. I've been trying to really cut through the energy drinks. So in the last month, I've had the equivalent of probably 4 cans of diet soda. I've had probably the equal amount of cans of what are pure zero energy drinks. So 0 calories, 0 carbs, 0 sugar. And I've been trying to drink a little more coffee, which I hate coffee. I can't stand it. I've been doing the bulletproof coffee, but can I still do the energy drinks? Do those still count? I've read the difference between the liquid fast and the dry fast and long-term fast and intermittent fasting and all those different things. And I know when you're doing a liquid fast, you're taking in your calories just through liquids alone, which means you can drink your sodas and that type of stuff. But to remain keto and to remain on my fast, can I use things like Mio? Can I do things that are absolutely 0 calories, 0 carb, like a Rockstar Zero or a Monster Ultra Zero or any of those other, Rip It Zero, any of those things? So go ahead and comment and shoot me a message and let me know what your thoughts are on that. So I kind of wrote some of the notes down, so I just want to make sure I touched on all of it. Again, week 4 finished down, up 1 pound. Day 30 ended down 25 pounds. That is awesome. I don't assume I'm going to lose 25 pounds a month, but if I do, I'll hit my goal weight in no time. So that is awesome. So the big reveal is, how much did I weigh when I started this journey? And I'm hoping some of you at this point are like, who fucking cares, right? That would be awesome if you just didn't care. But there's a lot of people who ask, how much did you weigh when you started this? And I'm going to share the last 4 weeks. I've been taking a photo on the end of each week. I don't really see that those photos are making a big difference in terms of my appearance, but I do know for sure that I am wearing shirts and pants that are a size, if not 2 sizes smaller than I was wearing 4 weeks ago. Things that I haven't been able to wear comfortably for a long time. And so that is super exciting. Even though I gained a pound, I still find that I had a positive there. So the glass is half full. And that's how I'm going to look at this journey all the way through. So with that said, I started out at, oh man, it's still tough to say. Okay. I started this journey at 405 pounds. It's a lot. I am now, as of last night, this morning as well, and I didn't weigh myself again this morning, but I assume that hasn't changed, at 380 pounds. A much more focused 380 pounds, a much happier 380 pounds, absolutely a much more energetic 380 pounds, but still 380 pounds. So I've got a long way to go. So when I'm sharing this journey with you folks, it is to help me. It is hopefully to help you, but it really is to help me. And I don't know that most of you have an idea of where I'm coming from, because I don't think most of the people I know would ever guess that I started this at 405 pounds.